wanted to go out on his shield, and he did.
Welcome back, fight fans.
Number one heavyweight in the world, Tyson Fury.
We witnessed the most anticipated trilogy and fight of the year in Fury vs. Wilder 3.
It was epic, man. It's a modern day classic.
Tyson Wilder Fury.
Tyson Fury stopped Deontay Wilder in the 11th round to retain his WBC heavyweight title in an absolute thriller at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
There's no division quite like the heavyweight division. You see all kind of athletes from different sports. You see A-list celebrities come out because they know that any moment from one punch, the fight can be over, and that kind of intrigue and that kind of suspense draws people. So we didn't just have a matchup tonight. We had a modern day classic.
The Gypsy King dropped Wilder in the 3rd round before being forced to climb off the canvas twice the very next round as Fury somehow survived a dangerous onslaught from the Bronze Bomber during a pulsating exchange. But that proved to be the last meaningful assault Wilder was able to launch as Fury grew in confidence throughout the contest, wearing out the exhausted former champion before finding a decisive right hand in the 11th round to end a brave Wilder's resistance. Fury attempted to reconcile with Wilder in the ring immediately after the fight,
Deontay Wilder again, and Deontay Wilder couldn't do anything about it.
but the American left the arena without speaking to his opponent and was later taken to a Las Vegas hospital.
Well done, he said, I don't want to show any sportsmanship or respect. I said, no problem. Right, sore loser, an idiot.
That wasn't just heart. That was grit. That was that stubbornness that all great fighters gotta have. And when you get knocked down like that and hurt like both fighters did, and you keep getting up and keep pushing forward, that's a modern day classic.
There was something very wild about that fight tonight. Wild, dramatic, brilliant. It'll go down as one of the great fights in Las Vegas, and one certainly of this era.
Those two are very, in my opinion, violently made for each other. They great dance partners. Deontay Wilder was great last night, but Fury was greater. And I salute both of them. It was a great night of boxing, especially for the heavyweight division.
Wilder did not want to lose this fight. He was determined to win this fight. You know, he was tired, he was hurt, but he kept it together.
I enjoyed giving him a good idea.
He spent too much money early. Hard jabs, hard right hands to the body. It was like, it was big shots, yo. It was big jabs, big right hands to the body early, and then that cost you, champ. Spent money early, champ. Spent that money early.
Fury's clever. He's clever, he's smart. He's great to watch. It's a great journey.
And Deontay Wilder landed his shot. Obviously, we saw he hurt Tyson Fury multiple times. He dropped him multiple times. He just happened to have a little bit more in the tank and was able to get that knockout shot in the way that he did tonight.
Sportsman, I don't hold any malice feelings towards these guys after fights. You know, build up in fights is build up in fights. We're here to sell a fight. But Wilder's a sore loser, and he always has been, and he probably always will be. And it was like, he'd probably make a million excuses again why he lost the fight. But you know what? I'm sick of hearing him. He got beat. He's got beat by me 3 times now. It's just clear to say that I am the better man.
And the last knockdown, in my opinion, I haven't watched the fight on tape yet, but from the corner, it looked like the worst knockdown. And then, the ref called it off, and, war on war. It was all good, baby.
Great performance. I mean, he did the job. Who would expect a fight like that? I mean, the first fight was good. Second fight was great. This one was the icing on the cap.
He looked very, very tired, Wilder, from early. Loading up on punches way too soon. Kind of a schoolboy error. But he's been able to not learn how to pace himself in fights because he's never needed to.
It was on that knife edge. It was just, you could not take your eyes off it. It was magnificent. I think it was about courage, valor, but the skills that Tyson Fury showed, and to come back from again adversity, ranks him as the #1 heavyweight of this time.
If you put Deontay on his back foot, he don't fight too well though, going backwards.
The way Dante was fighting and the way the fight, to me it was sloppy. It was a Rocky Balboa fight. I just like to see skills. I just like to see really pretty stuff. Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson. Skills, slip, boom, bang, bang, bang. It was sloppy. It was sloppy.
Could not even stand up and he kept going. So he deserves a huge amount of credit.
Deontay Wilder really tried hard this time, but you could clearly see that he can use some schooling, some help, some teaching.
Deontay Wilder has lost to one man.
He didn't really look skillful in the ring to me. If you're a boxer and you seen the way he was moving and throwing punches, I was like, wow, that's not.
He looked like his tank was empty after 2 rounds. Mate, he's stuck in there. I mean, in any normal situation, I feel like the corner would have pulled him out. But you know, with what happened last time, they've had that conversation and said, I ain't getting pulled out.
There was no quitting him. It wasn't quitting him till he was asleep.
If I could have saw Deontay Wilder performing a little bit better with his keeping his hands up, because his hands was awkward, side was like this. His hands was like something like that. I can't even do it wrong, because I know about this. You didn't see his hands like that, they was like this. And I thought that was embarrassing.
Wilder looked hypnotized before, like in the ring before the fight, and after 2 rounds, he couldn't stand up. 3 rounds, like again.
You know, I wish I could train him. He'll be a killer. At least he'll keep his hands like this and block jab, throw a hook behind it, slip, bing, bang. That's the kind of stuff that I really wanted to see.
Wilder was still dangerous all the way, even though his energy levels and his were being depleted and he was fatigued, but he went out on his shield tonight.
Dylan White, if Dylan White tightened himself up, Dylan White is somebody that could get the job done.
Tyson Fury just showed what he's made of. You know, he is an extraordinary boxer, extraordinary man.
But Dylan needed to tighten his. All those guys need help. I'm telling you. You see, he got Anthony Joshua stopped him, hit him with a good shot. Dylan White just got to tighten his defense up, you know.
The next for Tyson Fury will most probably be Dillian White as a mandatory for the WBC title.
Dillian White was the mandatory contender.
The WBC statement was quite clear that the winner of Fury against Wilder has to fight the interim world champion, Dillian White.
If he can land the ultimate unification for the undisputed, the WBC will allow that. If not, then they have to fight the interim champ.